High school juniors in Indiana and Michigan are likely preparing to take the SAT test. Some schools incorporate test prep into curriculum, and some students seek out additional help to prepare.
So I've been teaching the SAT for about 24 years.
Scott Carlin is Dr. Carlin from Dr. Carlin's Test Prep and College Consulting.
It's a very hands-on, in-depth, thinking aloud, modeling.
He used to teach college athletes at Notre Dame. Now he hosts online webinars, in-person classes, and other test prep options to help teens in Indiana and Michigan prepare for the difficult and required SAT test.
And then really attacking those things that make this test hard. The intimidation, the traps, the confusing way that the SAT can deliver questions.
Carlin says even for students who know the content on the test, it is not easy.
You could have concrete knowledge and skills about whether they're math problems or you are a quote good reader or have good writing skills, and not necessarily be able to translate that to the SAT and ACT, especially without the practice.
The great thing about
the SAT is a standardized test administered by the nonprofit College Board. The exam measures a student's reading, writing, and math skills, as well as college readiness. A perfect score is 1,600. College Board has said the average score in the U.S. is around 1050, but in our area, the average score is lower. According to the scholarship website Scholaroo, scores from Indiana and Michigan this past spring were among the lowest in the country. Indiana students had the 10th worst performance nationwide with an average SAT score of 971. Michigan was worse with an average score of 967. According to the study, the states with some of the highest average SAT scores in the country had far fewer students taking the test. Remember, the SAT is often taken by students with goals of attending college.
How serious are students taking the SAT?
At an Indiana State Board of Education meeting, state leaders questioned whether the SAT was a good measurement of what Indiana high school juniors know.
I have students who just rush through it because they don't plan on going to college, and why do I need to do this? And I just think as educators, we have to have a good answer for why.
Yeah.
And if there isn't one, we have to question why are we doing it.
Iris, I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because your comment is what we've heard from multiple different educators, sometimes even parents and families across the state.
Indiana sets its own benchmark scores. High school juniors who meet or exceed the benchmark are considered to have a 75% chance of earning at least a C in the first semester of a college course in that subject area. Last year, statewide, only around 50% of juniors met that benchmark in reading and writing, and only around 30% met the benchmark in math, according to the Indiana Department of Education.
As a board, as a state, as we think about the future of what the diploma could be.
As fewer Indiana students choose to go to college, state leaders may consider the future of the SAT requirement.
The different paths that students have and the different ways to uniquely define success. I think we're going to have to think long and hard. What is the future of that look like? I'll pause there.
Right now, it is a graduation requirement, and for high schoolers with college goals,
there's a lot at stake, right? So your SAT or ACT score can determine a yes or a no from a college.
It can also be used to get thousands of dollars in scholarship and merit dollars, which is why Carlin is continuing to focus on preparing today's high school students for these types of tests and a path after graduation. Go to this story on our website to see how your school district's juniors are doing on the SAT. And on Wednesday, Operation Education is talking about a major overhaul of the SAT this year, what's on the new test, and how it could throw some students off. In the studio, Kristen Bean, WSBT 22 News.
I'm John Paul. Thanks for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.